We ate dinner, or should I say breakfast for dinner, though Kaylin seemed reluctant to leave. He was very hands-on, playing with the kids, but we needed to get them showered and dressed for bed. So Kaylin said his goodbyes and left, stating he would see us at the Alpha meeting.
Valerian, time for a shower, buddy. Then you have to go to bed.
Valen says. Valerian gets up off the lounge and Casey follows. Casey, you'll have to wait until he hops out, I say. But Mom showered with Marcus with clothes on. Why can't I shower with Valerian? Valerian scrunches up his face, looking disgusted. I just look at Valen, hoping he'll explain. But it's Valerian who answers her. Gosh, you can be silly, Casey. People don't shower with clothes on. How would you get clean? Valerian asks, shaking his head. Nah, Marcus did. He told me he was showering with clothes on with Mom. Probably because he didn't want to tell you he was making babies with Auntie Zoe. Valerian says, matter-of-factly. My jaw drops. You can't make babies in a shower. Wait, how do you make babies? Casey asks, and both of them look at us. Well, that diverted quickly. Valen clears his throat and pulls at the neckline of his shirt, uncomfortable with the direction of the conversation. And how does the baby get in there? She adds. Ugh, do I have to tell you everything? The man takes the baby and puts it in a cabbage, and the woman eats the cabbage, and her belly gets fat. Valerian says, exasperated. Valen raises an eyebrow at his explanation, while I do everything I can not to laugh. That's not how babies are made. You got that from that cartoon, the one with the Cabbage Patch dolls. Casey argues. How else would a mom have a baby? Valerian retorts. Fine, they'll know. Ask your parents. Casey huffs with a pout. I snicker as I bail, leaving that for Valen to find a way out of. As I start to clean the kitchen, both kids look expectantly at Valen, who seems very uncomfortable.
They just happen.
Valen says. Really? That was his big explanation to the birds and the bees? But how? Casey asks.
By showering together.
Valen blurts. Oh boy. See, I told you. Marcus was making babies in the shower. You said the man puts the baby in a cabbage. So if he's showering, where does the cabbage come from? Casey asks, and Valerian pauses to think for a moment. I don't know. Let's Google it. Valerian says, racing to the table for his father's laptop. However, Valen is quick to get to his feet and snatch the laptop up before he can grab it.
No, it's bedtime. Shower. Now.
But we want to know, Valerian whines. Valen scrubs a hand on his face before looking over and glaring at me. I smirk. Yes, best explain how babies are made, Alpha. I chuckle, and he growls at me while both kids wait for him to answer. He drops onto the couch with a sigh.
Well, when a man and woman love each other, they do grown-up things, which make a baby.
What grown-up things? Valerian asks, suddenly very interested in this topic of conversation.
Like, kissing, hugging, and adult wrestling.
Valen offers, and the kids pull grossed out faces. Wait, is Mom kissing Marcus in the shower with clothes on? Casey asks, looking shocked. Ugh, Casey, I told you people don't shower with their clothes on. Valerian says. Yeah, they do, or Marcus would see Mom's private parts. Casey squeals. So, people see private parts all the time when they shift. Remember that hippie lady out at the reserve? She took her clothes off before shifting, and we saw her butt, and her big hairy front butt. Huh, I forgot about that. You're so smart, Valerian. Casey says. But if Mom and Marcus are kissing in the shower... Oh, I'm going to be a big sister. I always wanted to be a sister, she says, brightening. Where are we going to fit a sister? Our house is too small, and no baby is sleeping in my room, huffs Valerian before shaking his head and walking off to the bathroom. I'm going to be a sister. I'm going to be a sister. Casey laughs and dances in the living room.
I say, let Zoe break the news about being a sister. And thanks for the help, by the way.
Valen says, coming over and grabbing a kitchen towel to dry the dishes as I wash them.
By the way, you are aware I have a dishwasher.
He asks. Yep, I needed an escape. Dishes sounded like a good one, I say. Once the kids are showered and dressed for bed, I help tidy up their dining room and living room mess.
Are you staying in our room, or?
Valen asks hopefully. Yes, and you mean your room. I don't live here.
Yet.
He says, and I shake my head at him.
Besides, Zoe will need the extra space since Casey is going to be a big sister.
I'm sure Marcus has an apartment or someplace.
Nope. He prefers to stay at the pack house.
Well, if by chance they decide to have kids, I'll move out into one of the other suites at the hotel, I tell him.
It's not if by chance, more like when they have kids. Marcus has always been vocal about wanting kids. And why would you move into another apartment when you can move in here?
Valen!
What? You said so yourself. The media will go crazy when we announce we're mates. I can imagine the stories already if we don't live together, Everly.
Valen says, picking up all the pencils that fell under the table. We can work it out, I tell him, watching him set the pencils into their rightful places. That will take all night if he plans on putting them in their selected spot. Shaking my head, I take them from him and jam them in without any order. His jaw clenches. I know he wants to sort them, but Casey will only pull them out again.
Or you can stop being so damn stubborn and move in here.
I happen to like being on my own. I don't have to answer to anyone. Besides, I have the hotel, so I need to be there.
Then I'll move in with you,
Valen says. What part of I like my independence don't you get?
The independence part, because we're mates, Everly. Mates live together, not in separate places. Besides, Valerian likes it here, and I want to be with my son.
I swear, Valen, if you pull shit like Micah, I will lose it.
Then don't make me. Valerian can't go from house to house just because you're too stubborn about living with me. Either we're mates or we're not, Everly. So make up your mind.
Valen snaps. I'm not saying you can't see him. I'm just saying I don't want to live with you, I say.
I am sick and tired of your mixed signals. 1 minute you're saying you'll be my Luna, and now this.
Valen growls before he storms off angrily, and I feel terrible because of the stupid bond. Everly. Valen returns a few seconds later with a towel before marching into the bathroom and shutting the door, muttering under his breath. I hear the shower start and sigh. He has a point, though. The media would go insane over two mates, especially one holding status in the city, living apart. The scandals it would lead to. I can only imagine the speculation it would cause, and the rift once everyone finds out I am, in fact, Alpha John's daughter. That's another thing I'm worried about, because it will come out. Secrets always do. They never remain hidden, and I know it will all come out when they dig into my past. Yet the thought of having to answer to someone irks me. And if I'm living with Valen, I know I'll have to. Plus, he could pull rank over me. Yet, the stories that would be in the papers, I can already imagine the headlines. Pack rivalry keeping mates apart. Valen's cheating ways. Trouble with the notorious Alpha. Stupid shit. And that would be stacked on top of the one saying, Everly, the gold digger trapping the Alpha. Fuck. I never thought of the different scenarios, and now they appear endless. Valen walks out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped around his waist. He ignores me, and I can feel he's upset. I chew my lip before getting off the couch, wandering down the hall toward his bedroom, and pushing the door open. Valen is getting ready for bed and pulls the sheets back.
If you're coming in here to tell me you don't want to live with me or to give more bullshit excuses, Everly, I don't want to hear it,
he says, climbing in bed and tugging the blankets up. He turns away from me, facing the wall, and I sigh before showering myself and returning to the room. After rummaging through his closet for a shirt to wear, I climb in bed with him. Through the bond, I can tell he's still festering over our argument and very much awake, though he's keeping his back to me.
You said earlier you wanted to be my Luna. How do you expect to do that if we live separately?
He says.
The Alpha meeting is in 2 days. What do you expect me to tell everyone? Everly and I are mates, but it's complicated. This isn't like updating a Facebook status, Everly. I get you don't want me to mark you yet, but at least fucking try.
I remain quiet, pondering my thoughts and his words, when he rolls over to face me.
What are you afraid I'll do that you keep refusing to try to make this work?
Valen asks. There are plenty of things I'm afraid of. Valen taking control of everything in my life when I only just got some semblance of the normal back in it. Him taking my son, losing the hotel and everyone who relies on that place. I'm worried about the rogue women losing everything when they have no jobs because I failed them. But most of all, I'm afraid of ending up back in a shitbox car, living in the train station parking lot with Valerian. I'm scared of losing everything, just like I did before. Going back to having nothing and no one. At least with how things are now, he can't control everything. He can't take it from me. Anything I say will sound like an excuse, I tell him, and he sighs. Unless you've lived with the hopelessness of failing at everything and having no one to rely on, you can't understand how terrifying it is to allow someone else to have even the slightest bit of control when you worked so hard to get where you are. Moving in with Valen would be trusting him not to break me again, not to take everything I worked hard for away from me, trusting him not to throw me away like trash, like my family did.
Try to explain. I want to understand, Everly. No bullshit, just tell me.
Valen breathes, frustrated. I lost everything for our son. Everything, Valen. I had no one, only him, until I found that place. No one helped me until Valerie. My father couldn't bear the sight of me. Society displayed me as some vile, home-wrecking whore. I lived with that. The other rogue women lived with that. I won't lose it all. I won't go back to that place where I let myself think I would have help, only to find out I wouldn't, and that everything could be taken away from me in the blink of an eye, I answer honestly. I used to use the excuse it was his cheating, the fact he didn't recognize me, but deep down it has nothing to do with that, because he's here now. He proved he would stay. It's my own thoughts that ruined everything. I know it's toxic, and my own safety mechanism, but it's the truth. Until you hit rock bottom and claw your way back, no one can tell you not to fear ending up back there again. And that thought terrifies me. I have too much to lose now. I would lose everything, including my son.
But no one is taking anything from you, Everly.
You did. I know that's in the past. I know you want to make up for it. But it fucking haunts me. Do you have any idea how lonely it is when you have a baby relying on you to keep it alive and fed? When you have nothing and no one to help? Then to feel so selfish for forcing that life on a child, choosing yourself over your own kid because you can't bear the heartbreak of giving them up. You can't bear the thought of letting someone else raise them. I lived with that guilt of thinking I was destroying my son, so I damn near killed myself to earn the right to be his mother, one he deserved. I created a life for us. I won't lose it, I tell him.
You do deserve him, and none of that will happen again. I'm here now.
Valen says. Yes, you are. But what happens once you mark me? You make me give up the hotel. Take it from me. From them. Before Valerian, I was oblivious to how this city was run, like any other alpha. Shunned the rogue whores until I found myself one of them. Zoe, Macy, and I, we built that place. I won't allow you to take it from us. From those that work there. I won't just quit because you want a Luna. And I know you expect that. You expect that because it's what's taught to us. Lunas abide by their alpha. The alpha has control. No one should have that kind of power over someone else.
You think I'll make you give it up?
Valen asks. Yes, but I'm also worried about what they'll think when I become one of those that suppressed them in the first place. You marking me doesn't just affect me, it affects them when I become what society wants, what you want, I tell him.
What do you want then?
What I want is for my son not to be ashamed because he's rogue. I want the stereotypes gone. I want everything I've worked for to mean something, so our son can say that I tried, that I had nothing, but made something that made a difference. That's why I don't want you marking me. It would be like throwing everything we worked hard for away if you made me give it up. Like tossing what I was trying to change away, and all of them will go back to being just another rogue whore, and I will be just another selfish alpha, I tell him.
I just want my mate, Everly. That's all.
You say that now, until everyone starts putting pressure on you to force me to conform to their ways. You think I'll remain quiet in alpha meetings when they speak garbage about the way they treat rogue whores? Or when the packs bring in another law that restricts them more? Like the stupid schooling cuts they made last year? It will cause an uproar, one that will reflect poorly on you because you can't keep your Luna in line. You'll pull rank over me, Valen. You'll have control. And when they kick up a stink that I'm speaking against the way they've lived for decades, I know you'll use it against me, I tell him, clutching my head. Everything is so fucked up, and the stress is beginning to get to me. The stress of the mate bond, the hotel, people going missing, my father, and the stupid alpha meeting. Tears burn my eyes. I'm so sick and tired of the responsibility, but at the same time, I need to keep going.
No, you think you know, Everly. But I'm not trying to take anything from you. Use your title how you want. Fuck, abolish the laws for all I care. I'll even help you.
I scoff and drop my hands to look over at him. That would go down well. The media would tear shreds off him, and his pack would become a laughingstock. I shake my head. He seems to think it's so easy that I should just accept him because his title could help. But it could also destroy everything. Valen sighs and sits up on his elbow, looking down at me.
I mean it, Everly. You want to help the rogues? What better position than one of power? Change the laws, change their views, but do it with me by your side and in your corner. You think you have to solve all their problems yourself. You don't.
You backing me would start a war, Valen. Wars never solve anything. Just get innocent people killed.
Yes, you're right. But then those wars end up in history books and become everyone's turning point, a reflection of how we messed up, and a place to see the error of their ways. You're worried about war? The packs are always at war. Why not go to war for something that will hold value and give a future to someone who otherwise would have none? You have my pack. They will fight for you if you're my Luna. They will fight for the rogues.
My brows crease as I think over his words. Yet him saying it and allowing it after he marks me are two different things.
One thing I've realized since meeting you is that the rogues hold just as much value as anyone else and are capable of more than they realize, because not one of your people have ever talked down to me, treated me or any of those that enter your doors differently. They treat everyone with kindness, even though they are shown none. You want to change the laws, change things for the rogues, then let me help you.
You could go back on your word, though, Valen, I whisper. He could ruin everything, because me taking that title gives him everything I own, everything the rogues own.
I won't. I swear I won't. And I'll prove it.
Valen sighs, dropping his head on my shoulder, and groans. He feels defeated, yet I can also tell he understands, because his anger is gone. How? I ask.
Because tomorrow I'll open up my pack schools for the rogue children, and I'm shutting down that terrible place you call a school.
He lifts his head back up and presses his forehead against mine.
Besides, when I spoke to Valerian about changing schools, he refused unless Casey and Taylor could come to his new school. So, the more the merrier.
But what of the rogues that work there? They'll lose their jobs.
I hear a certain Mountain View hotel is looking for extra employees. We can help find them jobs. We can work it out.
In a city where rogues can't go past the 2 streets on either side of the main street unless it's to the reserve, there are no jobs, Valen. No one will hire them. Valen sighs, appearing to think for a second, before pushing his knee between my legs and shoving them apart. I raise an eyebrow at him. He smirks at me without answering as he moves between my legs and rests his arms on my pillow. Valen, I growl, looking away, but also not wanting to shove him off because the tingling sensation makes my stomach warm and fuzzy. He chuckles, but presses his weight against me when I don't shove him off.
Then I'll drop my boarders for them,
Valen says, and my eyes snap to his. You would do that? I ask, and he nods.
Maybe once I do, the other packs may open their borders too.
Valen, the media will destroy you for that, I tell him, and he shrugs.
And after the Alpha meeting, when I announce my mate is a rogue, it'll give them something else to talk about. I don't care for my reputation, Everly. No matter what, the media will find some way to destroy it. So why not give them something good to talk about? Let them open the debate. Then we can focus on changing their views,
He says, before leaning down and brushing his nose across my cheek to my ear and down my jaw. Valen, it's impossible to think with you doing that, I tell him as his hands bunch up the shirt I'm wearing at my hip.
Then don't think. Just agree. You have no excuses now, Everly.
I can think of plenty. I breathe out as he nips at my jaw, making me groan and shudder beneath him.
Are they all to do with the rogues, and you thinking I'm going to ruin you?
He murmurs before kissing down my neck. I nod, my eyes closing, loving the feel of his lips on my skin. I fight to keep clear my thoughts that are suddenly becoming more hazy.
Then let me prove it. Tomorrow I'll drop the borders and open the schools and my pack to the rogues.
You could just be saying that to get in my pants, I tell him as his hand travels down my hip to my thigh. He laughed softly.
Well, that would be an added bonus, but you're not wearing any panties, so I don't need to try and get into them.
My eyes fly open at his words. I thought it would be a bit odd borrowing those when I'm already wearing your shirt, I tell him.
What's mine is yours,
He says, while tugging my shirt up higher. And what's mine will be yours if you mark me, I tell him, a little bitterly. He pulls his face away from my neck and stares down at me.
You're worried I'll take everything from you, right?
I nod and sigh.
What if I make it so I can't?
He asks, What do you mean?
What if I hand my pack over to you?
What?
I'll stand down, make you alpha. I'll give you my pack.
He says, like it makes perfect sense. Valen, I can't ask you to do that. And then what? You become my Luna? He seems to think.
Now that would be a first.
He mumbles. I'm being serious, Valen, I say.
So am I, Everly. I mean it. I just want you. Fuck what the other packs think. I'll stand down as alpha and, I don't know, just be your mate.
No, I'm not taking your place. And no, I don't want to be an alpha. Luna, maybe. But no, I have the rogues to worry about. I don't want to have to worry about pack issues on top of that. And technically, you would still be alpha. You can't just stop being an alpha, I tell him. He sighs because he knows I'm right. Unless I make him rogue or forsaken after giving me his title.
Yeah, you're right, because I have to mark you anyway so you don't die on me,
he says with a huff.
What about a prenup then?
Still holds no legal accountability when you're an alpha.
Then I don't know, Everly. What do you want me to do? Because you don't trust me not to take everything from you.
I chew my lip, trying to think.
I won't take anything from you. You keep saying I'll toss you away or make you give up helping the rogues. I won't. They're your village, Valerian's village and his family. So if you don't trust me not to hurt you, trust I won't hurt our son.
You won't hurt our son, I murmur to myself, because I know he wouldn't. I know that for certain. I can feel how much he loves Valerian, loves me. He could hurt me out of spite, but he wouldn't hurt Valerian.
Of course not. I may be a shitty mate. Well, not shitty, but you know what I mean. But I am a good father, Everly. I would never hurt our son.
Then get a judge to sign everything over to him.
What?
Everything I own is to be signed over to Valerian, with me having total control until he's 18.
You want a conservatorship?
He asks, shocked. Then I have nothing for you to take. It belongs to Valerian. Valen shakes his head.
No, keep your hotel.
But
I'll sign everything I own over to you. All deeds, all accounts.
But you could easily get that back, Valen. You're an alpha, I tell him.
But it would still take me months in court.
He argues. You own the courts, I deadpan.
Not the human ones, I don't. Everything I own, I will file over to you in the human courts. I can't touch you then, and we'll have to fight for it back the human way,
he says, making a face. But then I'll look like a gold digger, I tell him and shake my head.
Then just trust me. For once, trust someone other than yourself. Or give Zoe and Macy part ownership or something. I can only legally control what you own. I can't control it if it isn't in my name, and Marcus won't ever do that to Zoe.
Valen says. And you would get a judge to do that? Help me sign it over equally to Macy and Zoe? I ask, shocked he would allow me to hand over half the hotel.
If it means that I can have you, then yes. Besides, as you said, they helped build that place. Only fair they get half of it. You could probably do it yourself with a lawyer,
he says. No tricks? I ask.
No tricks,
he says, smiling down at me. I nod, actually liking that idea. I can't wait to tell Zoe and Macy.
Oh, thank God.
Valen groans before kissing me. Valen? I mumble against his lips.
Quiet. You have run out of excuses now.
He laughs while his hands claw at my shirt. I suppose I have. But you're not marking me until after the Alpha meeting and the documents are signed. He hums in agreement, pressing himself against me as he nips and sucks at my neck. I moan, trying to keep my head while his lips attack my skin. Valen! I shriek when I feel his shirt tear in his hands, exposing me to him. He pulls away and sighs.
I said yes. I won't mark you until the paperwork is signed.
He whines.
So please let me touch.
I yank him closer and kiss him. He groans, settling back between my legs. I shiver when he kisses me back and moan into his mouth when he rolls his hips against me, his erection pressing against the inside of my thigh. I move my hand between us, squeezing his cock through his pants, and he groans, kissing me harder and rocking his hips against me. No wrestling! We can't fit Zoe's brother or sister in our house, and I'm not sharing a room. Comes Valerian's voice suddenly beside the bed. Valen leaps off me and I jump, ripping the blanket up to cover myself.
What are you doing in here? You're supposed to be in bed,
Valen says, clutching his chest like he's about to have a heart attack. Casey keeps sleep-talking and woke me up. Valerian huffs.
Come on, I'll tuck you back in,
Valen tells him. No, I want to sleep in here, so you can't make me share my room, Valerian says, glaring at me. Valen groans, clearly annoyed our son is cock-blocking him. But there will be plenty of room if we move in here with your father. 2 extra rooms, I tell him, Not that I was planning on having unprotected sex anyway, but he doesn't need to know that. Really? We're going to live here now? Valerian asks, his little eyes lighting up, and Valen looks over at me. I nod and he smiles, before motioning for Valerian to follow him so he can put him back to bed. Fine, but I want a brother, not a sister. I've lived with Casey for so long now. Girls suck, and I'm sick of watching trolls. Valerian whines.
Somehow I don't think it works like that. You don't get to choose.
Valen tells him. Then just wrestle in a boy way to make a boy, Valerian says simply, like it makes total sense. I chuckle and shake my head.
I'll keep that in mind,
Valen tells him, while walking him back to his room.